And we're live, boys and girls, with the man himself, Ammar Ahmad. Thank you so much, brother, for doing this with me.
Thank you. It's an honor and appreciate it from your side too,
Man,
bro.
I appreciate you even more after checking out Rio Altai's Instagram feed and yours. You've been up all night yesterday, right?
Yeah, man, watching and commentating on UFC. Like we were in Abu Dhabi TV 10 p.m. because of that
Oh,
lockdown, so that we
shit.
have to be earlier, so that we didn't check. We sat there until 2, until we start from 2 until like around 8.
Oh, what do you do from 10 to 2?
While I was chatting with Rio,
Uh,
we had some. We have our own new program, Amario. We
okay.
we 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 had 2 episodes and just preparing for the UFC,
Wow, okay.
talking, having fun. The idea is when you're doing something, it's a passion,
Yes.
man. You don't feel the time. You can just sit for 24 hours and still you can do it more.
I totally understand. Imagine getting an accountant and telling him, I need you from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. He'll hang himself. There's no way
Yeah, he
he'll
will hang
stay.
himself totally.
La man, but because like I didn't think of that because of the curfew at 10. You're there from 10 to 2, and I am assuming there's nobody else in the studio other than you guys.
No, no, no. Me and Rio only.
Because in my mind, I see the video and I see you guys sitting down in the studio alone taking selfies. I'm like, man, how much power do they have right now?
And you know what's the strange man is honestly after 8 and the fight card yesterday was on fire.
Oh yes.
Even the undercard, it was awesome, man. Yani it's better than the main card, to be honest, in terms of finishing, TKOs, the techniques. So that, and especially the UFC is the only sport back down after the lockdown, after this COVID
That's
19.
right. That's
So
right.
everyone is hungry. Everyone is hungry to do it. Even my daughter Maria, yesterday she had a fight with me before. You have to mention my name. You have. I thought, Maria, I'm just commentating. I don't care. And she sent me messages through
Love
the
it.
WhatsApp while I'm commentating.
I love it. Allah يخليلك. Yeah, how old is she?
She's 9 years old now,
9, and she's
and
already
she's in sport.
exposed. Nice.
Yeah, she is.
Is she training jiu-jitsu? Is she getting into it?
Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai. She's gray and black in Jiu-Jitsu. She's a
MashaAllah.
Muay Thai too. It's good to put the kids in a sport, man.
Man,
It will save them.
I love it, man. And that's the thing. Like, you're somebody whose life has become surrounded by this. And you're commentating for the UFC. You're commentating on the UAE Jiu-Jitsu events, right? The World Pros, the Grand
Yeah.
Slams. It's difficult because in order to commentate on things like this, you can't just get anybody, right? They've tried it in the past and it never connects. You have to have somebody in love, especially with the ground game. Because everybody can talk about punches, but once it goes on the ground, most commentators go quiet, right? That's when commentators like you start talking.
Yeah, and the idea of commentating, you need as a commentator to explain to the guys who's watching the TV what's going on. Otherwise, they're gonna get bored and they will leave.
100%.
Once when I start commentating on it was 2010 in the World Pro, which is when it would start big. One of the guys still I remember, he told me, "Thanks, Ammar. Now I understand what's going on. Especially our game Jiu-Jitsu. It's too ugly from far away.
Oof, if you
If you
don't
look
know
at it
it,
from,
100%.
it's too ugly.
Mm.
While even if you are explaining to the people what it's two fighters, what fighter A is trying to do, you can when the experience you can understand from the hands, where he put his hands, where he put his hips, his weights, his head. You can
Yes.
explain what he's planning to do,
Yes.
and when he's doing it, people start realizing it's a chess game, and the other the vice versa. What the guy is on the ground try to doing,
Yes.
especially also with the MMA now, because when it's in the ground, it's a jiu-jitsu game.
Right.
Plus, you have to add the touch of MMA.
Yes, absolutely. And I think as well, a lot of that's not the newcomers, but the people that don't train jiu-jitsu.
I can't hear your voice, Zaid.
Might be the internet or something. I can hear you just fine. I can hear you quite fine.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
You're
Now.
okay now.
I
Okay.
can hear you. Yeah.
I was just saying, Ahmad, basically, you've got a lot of people that watch MMA that don't necessarily train MMA or jiu-jitsu. So they'll watch them start, touch gloves, punch a few punches, and they're excited. Once it goes to the cage and they start rubbing on each other, I think even before they hit the ground, that's when you lose them. right? And they need commentators that know, that can tell you he has the wrist, he has the shoulder in his face, and he's planning this, he's trying to go to the back, he's trying to pull a single leg. And this is where I enjoy watching people like you, people like Hosseini that know the game, and they can take over where the beginners leave off, you know? Did you feel like you were getting tired across the night yesterday, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., or you were on fire?
The fight card is on fire. I'm on fire too, and especially, to be honest, it's Ramadan time, you know, and we have Ramadan time fights. But always I adapt myself. It's always like Sunday morning. So Saturday, I woke up early and try to have some like 2-3 hours nap before I go to UFC.
I see.
I want to be on fire so that people will get excited, because if the match is on fire and the commentators like they're quiet, people get bored, you know. So
absolutely,
I have to. It's a responsibility on me, so to do my job right.
Hey.
And plus, you know, I think you understand it. It's the passion behind it.
Yeah, 100. Like the voice, as you're talking, if you love it, you'll get people excited. If you're just technically like a doctor reading out, nobody will be interested. Ammar, tell me, when you're sitting down in that room, do you have like a number of how many people are watching or listening to the Arabic version audio?
To be honest, no, but I can read in the social medias in the UFC Arabia. There's a lot of people, and the funny things, I receive messages and information from friends around the world, giving me some information about, for example, Verdum. And the good thing, you know, like now in our region, most of us speak English. To be honest, you know, like it's a business language, and even the friends, I always talk to them in English. They watch the Arabic commentary and they send me messages, information about Verdum. Especially there is one guy, he's Yusuf Michel Nassar. He used to work. He's working in NBC.
Okay.
But he speak always in English. But and when he watching UFC, he watch it in Arabic commentary and send us messages. And people around the world, even I receive message from Palestine, from Morocco, from Nigeria, Egypt, live, man, live. They are sending me. Can you send me the link where we can watch it? Oh, they send me, this guy gonna win, this guy gonna lose. I think Abu Dhabi Sport TV, in a year, they did a very good job. And inshallah, we are part of that good job.
Yeah.
We are delivering a good message for the Arab audience, that the Arab language and the Arab commentary, we can do something good.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
And we are doing, inshallah.
Absolutely. You know, Ammar, like in the beginning, when Arabic first started commentating, not even on UFC, on Jiu-Jitsu, right? It felt like alien. It felt like they were talking English with a few Arabic words. You know, because everything, عنده position, knee on belly. It's like you're speaking English. You're just saying عنده.
Yeah.
But now you guys developed the language of jiu-jitsu towards Arabic, which will also translate into gyms. People like coaches that watch now the UAE Jiu-Jitsu Federation, watch the UFC. When they train fighters in Jordan and Palestine and stuff, now they use the language that they hear the commentators speak. And that becomes the common language of the martial art, just like in English. In the beginning, you're watching, mostly Joe Rogan was commentating in the beginning of the UFC, and everybody started using Joe Rogan terms to describe the UFC. So it's very important, the role that you guys play as commentators of the martial art or the sport in Arabic. That's exciting, man. I died laughing when I saw that post. I'm like, shit, man, how's he going to be awake tonight? Bas hayak, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, man. Alhamdulillah. I adapt myself to do it.
I wanted to ask you about the whole situation now. As a gym owner, as a coach, as a person that's dealing with the business of martial arts during this coronavirus pandemic, do you see us going back to normal life anytime soon, or is this something that's going to take a long time?
Wallahi, to be honest, it's a good question, and I have both answers. Yani, the hope is telling me we're gonna back soon, inshallah we're gonna back soon. But also the circumstances around us, I think we need some times, because it's a strange virus, and no one knows what it is, how we can fight it. But I think as a humans, we have to keep going. We have to keep to go in our life. And I heard in the state they opened the gyms. Some of them, yeah. Some of them, they open the gyms. You have to have like some circumstances, and they have some conditions.
Horrible.
But here on, yeah, horrible, and especially for us as a martial arts, our sports,
Yes.
jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, MMA, it's like it's a contact sport.
Yep.
It's a contact sport. I think if we have the conditions that the measurement of cleaning, good cleaning, measure everybody's temperature. I think if you have it, I think we can back soon.
I hope so.
And I'm sure we're gonna back soon after Ramadan. Inshallah, everything's gonna go back, but with more conditions, with more circumstances. You
Of
have
course.
you have to follow and you have to apply in
Of
the
course.
gyms, and the life is going on for sure.
Of course, man. You know, the only thing that troubles me is because the only thing more close contact than jiu-jitsu is open heart surgery, because like we are on top of each other, breathing on each other. So when they talk about the scale of reintroducing back to normal, I know we're on the other side, the far side of that scale. The thing is, Ammar, is this has also conditioned so many people. You go to the supermarket today, people are walking away from each other. People are afraid from each other. And this is on a social stand. I look at jiu-jitsu, you have some crazy people, and we all know our crazy people in the gyms that they don't give a shit, they're coming back. But you have the casuals who have kids, who have older parents, that 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Even if the country says, okay, go back, to them, there's no vaccine, there's no reliable way to know if they have it or not, the people I'm training with. I feel like this is where it's really gonna harm the jiu-jitsu academies all around the world, not just in the UAE. What do you think we can do about that as jiu-jitsu practitioners and as gyms? Is there some solution in your mind to this?
I think we have to have limitations of the class as at the beginning. We have to measure everyone's temperature. So if it's in high temperature, he has to go back, sanitizing in and out, cleaning the mats between the classes. We have to. So class always have 1 hour. So we have to do the class minimum to be 50 minutes, maximum to be 50 minutes, sorry. Then we have to have good cleaning for the mats. And with the time, people will adapt to it. You know, like we had a lot of viruses in the past. We don't feel it. And I think, to be honest, I know it's a pandemic, but I think the media, it gives us big odds. They
definitely did that.
Expanding it. Yeah, they are expanding it. I don't know if there is a benefits behind it to others. We heard a lot on the social media about, we don't want to mention the names, about that internationally big names, they are getting benefits out of it.
Right.
But I think at the beginning, people will be like, just worried a little bit. But with the time, everyone will go back. I received a lot of messages from, like, we have a WhatsApp groups for even kids jiu-jitsu. Everyone wants to be back. Everyone, even the parents, even non-Arabs, like, they are training at my academy. They want kids to be back. They said it's normal. I know we have to have a good clean. We have to take care of ourselves. But a physical contact, it's happening every day. It's happening every day between us and our family, between us and if you're going to the supermarket. So none of us is sitting home 100%. We are going out, getting stuffs, taxis, just you have to take care of yourself. And I think with the time, everything will be okay, inshallah.
I think you said something very important here, is that not everybody is doing it 100% lockdown, right? Unless you've been quarantined by the government. It's the problem is, in a lot of the past viruses that went pandemic and unfortunately killed many people, it wasn't the first wave that did it. It was the second wave. When people relaxed and the governments relaxed and the second wave came in. But you're absolutely right. We don't know what the motives are. There's plenty of people making a lot of money in this time. And we don't know where it's headed. But something that you definitely see around the world is testing. This is going to be a topic we're all going to hear. Testing before traveling on airplanes, testing for gym memberships, testing for certain things on a regular basis could be the new normal until a solution is found for coronavirus. Because whether we like it or not, it's in our face and everybody's talking about it. Do you think that you would come to a point where you would have mandatory testing in your gym or jiu-jitsu gyms?
I think at the beginning we have to do it. We have to do it, and everyone has even to accept all the gyms owners to do it, because at the end of the day, it's for themselves and for the others too. So 100%. To be honest, I have some message. I'm a Muslim. You're a Muslim. I think the humanity and all over the world, we are getting so tough against each others. I think this is a message from the God. We have to go back to our to our basics things. We have to take care of ourselves. Humanity
I
now,
like that.
everyone is eating and everyone is trying to snap, to kill everyone, and
Yes.
not in terms of kills, in terms of
I get you.
hungry, in terms
I
of
get you.
we have to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what my beliefs. It's a message from the God. People back to normal, and with that, now everything is developed. If people can fly, people can do like magical things, but we forget that we are humans.
Yes.
We are humans, and we are one of God's things in this life. So we have to back to believe in our God, and we have to be back to our unity as a human.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And well said by the person who runs a gym called Primal, because that's it. We have to get back in touch with our primal instincts and what we really are. The thing is, I love what you said here, because you're so right. In the last 10 years, the world went crazy. Everybody's traveling. Everybody's a travel blogger, a fashionista, an influencer, Gucci this, Gucci that. And it's like, did you forget that there's basics to life? There's family, love, friendship, trust, loyalty. Like these kind of things started to fade away. And today, when nobody has anything, not their bags, their shoes are asking about them in the closet, right? None of these things are available. Today, all they have is their home, their loved ones, their friends that are there for them, their support system. This is all we have today. And it makes you think. You're so right.
And especially in this pandemic, like there's a lot of people suffering, and and over the world. So it's the right time.
Yes.
We have to back to our humanity to help each other.
I agree.
To help, because if you help, God will help you.
I agree.
That's the natural life. God creates us, levels.
Yes.
For a reason, to see if you are a good person and if you are a bad person. So I think people understand, and they can see it all over the social media. Everyone, they are back to be humble, even if he is a superhero, and especially those fashionistas. And if you allow me to say something, we forget our doctors, we forget our scientific people, that they need them, and we most of us follow the things in the social media, which is zero beneficiary out of it. So we have to back to take care of our doctors. They have some saying in I think in Spain, that they are paying millions for the football players, and they are paying peanuts for the researchers.
I saw that.
And now, where is the football players? I know I love football, but we have to take care of this to give them the level that they deserve to be in.
So true, so true. Very well said, Ammar. And something I really liked is Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid recently announced a 10-year golden visa in the UAE for anybody in the medical professional. This made me so happy, because, man, they deserve some added value for what they're at risk. Every doctor that I know, every friend that I have, it's not, wallah, they have the shield of armor. They're scared. They know it's dangerous. They know they're in the front line, but they're doing it, So they definitely deserve.
Because it's their passion. It's their passion and their job, and they know now the entire world needs them.
Yes.
And the value out of it. And I heard that they cannot go to hug their kids, man. Imagine this. They cannot go to their family, to their loved ones.
That's crazy.
But I think we have to salute all of them, and to pray for them, that God bless them. Inshallah.
Inshallah, man. No, I really think that it's a time that changes perspective. Like everybody talks about, how can I change my life? How can I go from an overweight person to a jiu-jitsu black belt, right? And all I have to say is, the whole world changed its mind in a month. We went from, man, I was talking about this on my Instagram story. I went extra careful as soon as I heard about the coronavirus. So I would wear a face mask to the supermarket for two reasons. One more than the other. I didn't know if I had it or not, because I had traveled to Greece in that time. I worked between back and forth. So I wore the mask just not to affect anybody as well. Everybody looked at me like I was a retard, right? The global perception is, like, why is he so paranoid, kind of? Man, 1 month later, everybody's wearing face masks, gloves, hair nets, the whole 9 yards. It's
strange.
Yeah, and this is how quick that the mind decides everything, right? You could be overweight and then be fit within a day. Just a change in your mind. You can be confident of your health and safety, and then you could be paranoid in one day. It's just a matter of your perspective. And that's the thing that's really happened here.
Man.
Changing gears a little bit, Ammar, I wanna ask you something interesting. I don't know if you've been asked this before, but I have a feeling you have. You and all your brothers, you're all fighters.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Do you have a librarian in the family? Like, is there somebody who just did not get that gene, or are you all fighters?
You know, my father, God bless his soul, you know, he used to be like, you know the nation what we came from.
Yes.
We are fighters, you know.
Yes.
It's the same nation. I share it. I'm with you. But my father, they told me he grew up in Kuwait, and he used to be a troublemaker in Kuwait, like you know, as doing a bodybuilding that time in the 60s and these things. So that, and my father, uncle from his mother's side is the same too. He is a tough guy. And he used to travel between Jordan to Palestine, walking on the night. He used to live. He born in Ajloun, and we originally we are from Nablus.
No, okay.
So they traveled there, you know, to sell their sheep and all these things. And he told me a story that once in the night, like a wolf came out, and he managed to kill him.
Boom.
So I think yeah, that's what he told me. And still, God bless him. He lives in Jordan now. He is Qasim Sahi, and he's my father, uncle, and still he's in a good health.
Yes.
And he told me the stories. You know, when you go sit in with the old people.
Yes.
I think we have it. We have it in the gene, and all my brothers, they take it from my father gene.
I really believe this, man. And in time, as I became a father and I see my kids, and I realize there's things, man. I did not tell my son certain things. He's never seen my wife in a hospital freaking out. My wife has a fear of doctors, and he naturally has it. You know what I mean? Like, there's things that pass through the genes. When I see some of the images you shared of your father, Allah yarhamu, and like just the bond that you have, which was beautiful. Your father looked like he was a tough guy. Like, he looked like he was built. And the Palestinians that grew up in that time, fallahin, farmers, they used to have to look after their own home morning to night. There's no time where they're sitting down, hanging out, watching something. No way, Netflix. You know, to them, it's what we're doing is retarded to them.
Yeah, man. And we live in mountains. Like, you know, my village originally in Palestine, and between Palestine and Ajloun,
yes,
we have the same natural. So that they grow up here and there. So mountains, and they have, like, sometimes when I visit Palestine or Jordan, man, just, you know, and they like the shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
So they like the shortcut, and the shortcut is always hard.
Yeah, it's worse
than the normal way. But we could do the shortcut.
Yes.
And after the shortcut, I'm so tired, man. So you know, day by day, they live their life there.
Yeah.
So I think we have it in the gene, and thanks God, and I want to thank my dad. God bless his soul, that he passed it to us.
Absolutely, man. It's clear. It's crystal clear with all you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy this health for many, many years in your future, and your kids as well. Like,
inshallah, you too, bro. I saw also once your son. You put your son picture when you are young, and your son. So, man, the genetics, you understand it when you're a father. Already.
Absolutely. That's when it hits you, and you're like, man, be careful what you believe inside of you. Be careful what you do in your life, because it actually, I feel like it prints into your kids. Even my own life, not just my father's genes, my genes, what I think, what I accept in life will translate into my own kids.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Because day by day, they are looking at you. You are the idol for your kids.
Exactly.
So that even if you don't know, but they are looking at you. Like, I have an expression when I get angry, it's like this. So my boy, man, Faisal, he's 7 years old. Since he's 5, he's doing it. I said, oh my God, up to this limit?
Man, it scares the hell. You know what? They're the filterless mirror of you. What you like, what you don't like, they're going to expose it. We are way like in public. The problem isn't at home. The problem is when you're in public and they do shit and everybody looks at you. They're like, I know exactly where the fuck he got it from. Exactly.
100%, bro.
So tell me, Ammar, now that you said all of this about your father and your uncle, it kind of makes sense where this martial arts comes from. But how old were you when it first started? Like, it clicked in your head, I want to train.
I used to, you know, I born in UAE. In 90s, as a teenage, the only thing that available is gym.
Mm-hmm.
But also because I was, you know, I'm the oldest guy in for my father, and like my father get married when he is 19. So when he's 20, I'm there.
Wow.
So a kid having a kid.
Yes.
So I was too spoiled. I was too spoiled, man. Spoiled up to crazy things. Now now I think, how can my father accept this? If my son doing this, I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah.
So we used to grow up on area where it's close to the Jordanian society. Jamia al-Urduniya.
Yes.
Nothing. So the only things available, and I'm too soft. I'm too spoiled. So my father put me in a taekwondo classes there because it's just close to our home.
Okay.
So I started when I was, I think, 11 years old or 10 years old, doing a taekwondo class.
Did you like it?
And at the beginning, yes.
Okay.
At the beginning, because I was forced to do it.
Emma, that's why I'm asking.
I was forced because I was young. I too spoiled. It's easy to sit home.
Yeah.
So this is a message for the parents. You have to put your kids in the martial art. Either they like it or not. Just don't give up, because the kids too smart. Don't give up. The push until they like it.
Yeah, and they don't know what they want.
And kids, they're smart too. Sometimes it's easier for them to sit home doing PlayStation.
Yeah.
So I started taekwondo until I get there is a few people, my brothers, my cousins, and our, that area, or Jordanians.
Yeah.
Until I reached the great belt when I was 16 or 17, I escaped from it.
Wow. Oh, but you stuck to it quite a while. That's 5 years.
Yeah. I don't like it because there is no competition, and I don't feel it suits me. Taekwondo, it's, with all respect. Now I have a good kicks because of taekwondo.
Nice.
But there's not a lot of competition, so I have to play always with Zaid, always with Ammar. So we get to know each other very well. I escaped when I reached like 17 years old. I told my father I escaped literally from him. I ran away from him. Then I back to bodybuildings.
Okay.
Gyms. As a teenager, we need to have a nice body.
Right.
Okay,
that's the thing, man. Like you said it so well. Is growing up as well in the UAE, gym was a predominant form of fitness for us. Sports wasn't so, like, the problem you were saying, and an important point to parents listening as well. The problem with most martial arts is the kids don't see the future path. When they see Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, and all of this, and they grab a football and wear football clothes, they see the path. I can become him, just like I can become a fireman, a doctor, this. When they do taekwondo, to them, like, what does the taekwondo path look like? I don't even know. So that's where, like, jiu-jitsu comes big into play. They see Faisal Kitbi, they see big names, UFC. Now it's clicking.
And now it's a modern sport.
Hey.
After that, in 1999 ADCC, I think ADCC.
Yes,
right?
Of course, yeah.
I was an organizer in ADCC, 1999.
Oh, wow.
98, 99. I was an organizer, so I met all of those heroes. Renzo Gracie, I have a lot of cases with them.
Amazing.
I used to fight with him. I was an organizer, so that I would not allow him to go inside.
Okay.
I don't know who's Renzo Gracie. I don't know those guys. What's going on?
Hey.
He is a petite. I'm a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So I have a big muscles.
Yeah.
I told him he is not allowed to go inside. He said,
shit.
No, I'm gonna go. He said, no, you're not gonna go inside.
Oh,
he
no.
said, you wanna fight? I said, yeah, let's.
Oh, no.
Then after that, yeah, exactly. I always talk to him about it. I told him, now, thanks God I didn't fight with you. I didn't fight with you last.
They're gone really bad. And
I've been in bad conditions now.
He's in his prime when you're saying this shit.
He's in his prime, 98 and 99. Imagine.
Oh.
But from that time, I was organizer for 3 years.
Yeah.
Then happens, we used to play football, beach football in Shat al-Raha.
Yeah.
There is Sheikh Tahnoun did a lot of competition. I was a good goalkeeper. So we had a team. We had a team like, here in UAE, like mixed. We have Palestinian, Jordanian, Somali, Yemeni, local guys, from Egyptians. So we had our own team called Al-Nukhba Elite. So we trained there. We participated there, and by chance we reached in a quarter final, and we beat a big team under I think ADCC. The team is ADCC.
Oh.
We beat them. Yeah, we beat them. We qualified to semi-final. Then Hamad Shayl al-Kitbi, he's the uncle of Sheikh Tahnoun, God bless his soul.
Okay.
He came down to us. He said, which team you are? I said, we said, we are from street, man. We are friends playing football. And they said, it's okay. This time I want you to come. We want you to come to play under ADCC team, to be a beach football for ADCC team. We said that's a good opportunity.
That's crazy.
Then we reached the semi-final. We got the third place in that tournament. And most of the team, they came from Africa, from Europe, like it's a professional teams.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you know, to get a short, we start playing in ADCC football tournaments.
Yeah.
And we used to go to practice on Shat al-Raha beach.
Okay.
There, because there is a football court. And Sheikh Tahnoon and all the royal family, they used to play there by themselves with their kids, with Faisal al-Kitbi and all those guys.
Oh wow!
So Sheikh, because I'm an organizer there in ADCC and I'm a football, so yani it's kind of, I think Sheikh Tahnoon recognized my face.
Okay.
And there was a big guy.
Yeah.
He said, "Why don't go play jiu-jitsu?" I said, "But there is no jiu-jitsu here to be played in UAE."
That's crazy.
I said, "Okay, I'm an organizer in ADCC, but there's no place to play jiu-jitsu." He said, "No. There is an, I think, what they call it, Khaldiya.
Yeah.
There is Khaldiya area. There is ADCB Bank on the signal of Khaldiya, and where's Khaldiya Mall?
Yeah.
There used to be Adam Hawa building, we used to call it.
Yeah, I know that building.
In the 90s.
Yeah, I know that building.
Yeah. In the mezzanine, there is a jiu-jitsu there.
What? Who was
I went there, I told them.
Who was teaching?
Teaching what they call it, there is Sheikh Tahnoon, because he's played jiu-jitsu, he brought it from state.
Yeah.
So Sheikh Tahnoon was there, Sheikh Haza was there, Qaisiya was there, and Marcelo, I don't know his name.
Okay.
Marcelo, this is Sheikh Tahnoon, a friend, came with him from state.
Wow.
And there is also a Colombian guy, big muscle, he used to play there. So I went there. I told them I'm from Sheikh Tahnoon, told me to play jiu-jitsu. So, they are sure I cannot lie.
Sure.
But I trained there for like 2-3 days. But the problem is, it was like my last year in university. It was mid of 1999.
Okay.
Or beginning. I told them I need to finish, because if I go in jiu-jitsu, I will be affected. And I used to work also in the gym. I told them I'm gonna stop for 6 months until I finish my degree and I come back.
How old were you?
I finished my degree, and that time they moved from Adam Hawa building to where is Abu Dhabi Country Club now, the club itself.
Okay, I get you.
So I back there and I start like a beginning of 2003 jiu-jitsu, and we used to have like a 3 months coach from Brazil, and there's a 3 months a Bulgarian guy. He is that time I think he's blue or purple belt. Peter, I think maybe if you know him, he's now a manager of ADCC.
Yeah.
He used to teach us.
That's crazy.
And we're like 4 or 5 guys only max in the class.
Man, what you're talking about is literally the history of Jiu-Jitsu in the UAE and ADCC. Like, this is the start of everything. I didn't even know what you're saying, these stories. How old were you at that time when you started Jiu-Jitsu?
I think it was, when I started Jiu-Jitsu, I was 24.
24, okay. So you were still young enough to do it, but you're part of, like, you're starting to get there. So when you started Jiu-Jitsu at 24, ADCC, white belt, who was training with you? Who are the black belts today that we recognize?
Maybe there is, after me, they came, was a guy whose name Nasser al-Mus'abi.
Okay.
Muhammad al-Mus'abi. He's a local guy in Al Ain.
Okay.
He worked in the army. And there is a Yemeni guy, his name Wahid.
Okay.
And there is a few friends, locals, but they quit. So the only guys they have continued is these 2 guys. And I used to train judo with Musa and Faisal and his brothers Jabir. I think they were 7 years old or 10 years old. So they used to train wrestling. We used to train with Sasha. It's an Olympic game wrestler.
Yeah.
And Sambo with another Russian Sasha. They use all of them used to participated in ADCC. So I have a lot of histories about it. Sam Jamal himself, we met him there in ADCC.
He used to visit
because
you guys.
We supported him because he used to train, he used to fight in ADCC.
Man, it's amazing what you're saying, because this is a time where Jiu-Jitsu is not popular whatsoever. And whoever is coming to teach these things is coming to teach them the real way. Because, as a gym owner, there's this commercial side now to Jiu-Jitsu. You have to have a certain protocol, a way, warm-ups, and this. When you were going to them, it wasn't like 30 kids at a class. It was you and like 4 other people. Let's get to it. And I feel like that must have been an exciting experience for you. Did you like it? How did you feel about it?
I loved it, man. I came from humble family. My family is a normal family. Like my father used to work in government, so I
Okay.
used to work morning. Then I used to go to study. Then after that, I used to go to jiu-jitsu. So in that time, if I go, after going to the university, if you goes home and
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna take a little nap, you will go. You will not go to train. So
Yeah.
sometimes I used to sleep on the mat, man, waiting like half an hour or 1 hour for the class. Where is that ADCC?
Yeah.
I used to sleep there just because I don't want to miss the class. I was in love with it. I was in love of it, man. I feel this is the sport I belong to because it's
Amazing.
just you and you.
Yes.
You are challenging yourself,
Yeah.
and that time sometimes in the class only me and the coach. It's like private class,
Yeah.
but with the coach.
Yeah. It's just nobody else showed up.
Yeah, nobody saw. So we used to call each other's, man, come to train, don't miss it. We used to push each other's because we are
Yeah.
limited. If
Yes.
if those guys they will not show up,
Yeah.
so that you will miss. There's no training day today.
So the coach you started off with was the Bulgarian coach, Peter, or was there some other person? Like, who was the Brazilian
No,
coach?
no, there is a Brazil. I think Marcelo, but the coach that he is effective. I consider him as my coach is Olavo Ebrio.
Ah, oh, okay.
He came the first time, and he is, not every fighter is a coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think you understand this,
Yeah.
because you're a martial artist.
Yeah.
So not the best fighter is the best. Olavo, he was like in his medium range as a fighter. He told me this. He never reached like a final because he get like in Brazil,
Of
like
course. Yeah.
semi-final maximum. But he is a very good coach. He's the coach who built all my jiu-jitsu techniques. So I started with him.
Amazing.
Then 3 months there is some coach, but he back again. I
Mm-hmm.
think 2003 to be like with Carlos, Olavo, and so on to be like permanent. And he's the first coach affected my style and the one I consider myself as belong to his lineage.
What's the style that he rubbed off on you? What would you call it?
Basics, man.
Mm-hmm.
Basics.
Fundamentals.
Always basic.
Yeah.
Fundamentals. And at that time that always fundamental. Pass the guard, half guard, kimura. And these the things that you see
Until today.
almost in the tournaments.
Yeah.
Until today in the tournaments, rare to see a fly armbar or fly triangle. It's nice to know, and
Yeah.
you have to know.
Yeah.
Barambolo, but my type, my body type, it suits the basics rather than these new techniques. I know it. I teach it to my kids, but
Sure.
that's the style I go in the fight.
It's funny you say that, man, because like in the time, I'm a person that watches jiu-jitsu with an eagle eye because I adore this martial art. And when I watch people compete, you're absolutely right. Everybody's just doing the fundamentals. In the gym, they're training and drilling berimbolos and I don't know what and stuff. These things were successful and started going into our encyclopedia of jiu-jitsu because when you don't know something, it's effective. The first time the Meow brothers came and started berimboloing people, everybody's like, what the hell's going on? I don't know what to do. Just like Keenan Cornelius, when he started grabbing people's lapels, Leandro Lowe, all of these guys, what the fuck? Champions, crazy beasts, monsters that will physically slaughter Keenan, couldn't do anything to him. It's not because Keenan is better than him in jiu-jitsu. He just brought something new. But when you get somebody who is a specimen like Leandro Lowe and Keenan and tell them who's going to catch the Kimura first, chances are Leandro Lowe will get it, right?
Yeah.
So you come from the heritage of the old school, of the fundamentals. Did you feel that back then you drilled a lot more? What was your training practice back then?
To be honest, it's like an army.
Okay.
Like our coaches, they're so tough. Like they brought the style that I think now, if you allow me to say it, in Arab words, we the new generation. Some of them they're too spoiled to do it.
Yeah.
We are army. We listen to our coach. I tell you a story.
Mm-hmm.
Once the small tables for school tables that we used to have in government school in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
As a match, we run around the match as a warm up. Coach told us, Olavo, I think, and Carlos told us, you have to do a front roll over this table.
Yeah.
Now it's easy for me, but that time I have this phobia of high I don't know what they call it in English,
Yes.
high places. I don't like to
Yes.
go to jump. This is not my time. 1.5 hour in a class, coach told me, Ammar, you have to do a front roll over this table. Otherwise, you have to keep trying. Otherwise, don't show up tomorrow.
If I can stop you there, when you say over the table, you mean you stand on the table, then do a front roll from it, or,
No,
or
I
jump
have to do a front roll. No,
over
no, no.
over it?
Jump over the
okay.
table.
Ooh.
Over. Yeah.
I thought.
I think it's, now I do it like 300 times.
Yeah.
But I
Okay.
have to do like a front roll over it.
Yeah, jump.
Always I run until I reach the table. Something stopped me. My fear.
Yes.
That's the message.
Yes.
Jiu-Jitsu, it's created to face your fear, just between you and
Absolutely.
you, not between you and an opponent. So, man, imagine all the time, all the during of the class, I'm running. I'm just talking to myself because it's a huge mat.
Right.
I think it was 20 by 10. I'm talking, I can do it, man. You can do it. You will do it. I reach them at the table. Boom, I can. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Back again. He said, Ammar, I don't care about you. And the class is going on.
Yeah.
They didn't stop the class.
I love it.
Until I did it, because, like he sent me this message. You want to show up tomorrow? I said, oh my God, I'm not going to train tomorrow. It's, for the guys that they love the sport, then, man, I did it.
Yeah.
When I did it, like I'm doing it like now 300 times, I said, man, it was so easy.
Yeah.
It was so easy. But the things, I beat it, my fear. I faced my fear that inside me, and I won the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that is every small bit of your jiu-jitsu experience is a fight, if you look at it that way, and you conquer it. And I love the fact that you went through that experience. There's lucky and unlucky parts of it, right? The unlucky parts, it's hardcore, it's abusive. You don't get to enjoy all of this hezenya and sitting down and hugging and slap bump jiu-jitsu lifestyle. Back then, it was like my ass hurts jiu-jitsu lifestyle.
No, but after the class, we do the same. We sat, we hang out to each other. But in the class, he is my coach. And for preparing for the competition, we do this specific train.
Okay.
Man, I used to almost cry in the specific train. He said, I don't care. You have to do it.
Oh.
Not, you have to do it because for him, it's not a commercial thing. He's doing the things that he brought from Brazil.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
The things that they create the fighters and the champions, man. Champions not created by sitting, by easy, by having a nice gi. It doesn't matter. You have to have your nice gi.
Yeah.
And even if you are a billionaire, have your nice gi. But if you want to be a champion, you have to do it the hardcore.
Yeah, the match
even until
lie.
now.
Yeah.
Kenan, what we saw is the winning when they are in the podium.
Yeah.
But what no one's seeing that the sacrifice they are doing back to be prepared for that day, or maybe for 3 or 4 fights.
That's very true. A lot of people overlook that side of it, and it plays a huge role because a lot of the Brazilians coming to the UAE and to various countries, like in Malaysia, I was talking to Bruno Barbosa, they're like ambassadors of Jiu-Jitsu coming from Brazil, but when they arrive and they start meeting the people and they're hired by a gym and management, they feel like, okay, I can't bring the porrada right now. I need to wait a little bit. So they soften it up in order for people to accept it. Do you feel that that's a bad thing or a good thing, softening up of Jiu-Jitsu to bring in new people?
Because for them, they learn it because of, most of, Brazil, favelas and all these things.
Yeah.
And their life is tough. So to bring a jiu-jitsu to a new culture, you have to adapt, to be honest. I'm with them, but for just to introduce it to the people, because like I'm okay, Palestinian, Jordanian, grew up in UAE. Imagine you're gonna go to live in Brazil. You will not live your life in UAE or in Jordan. The same thing in Brazil. You have to adapt to that nation. So at the beginning, to adapt is okay, but also you have to give it the hard time. Is the toughness to create a fighter. If you see as a coach, Ammar and Zaid and X and Y, they wants to do it.
Yeah,
they wants to be a fighter.
And how do you know? Like, did you know you wanted to be a fighter, or were you somebody that loved it and knew that I want to teach this in the future? Like, did you know this or no?
No, man, I didn't put in my mind one day I'm gonna get benefits of jiu-jitsu. I always, and jiu-jitsu, it's not a cheap sport. It's an expensive sport in terms of kimonos, in terms of in terms of supplements, in terms of even paying
Training
for the
and
membership.
yeah.
I was lucky. I was train free because of يعني
Yes.
Sheikh Tahnun,
Yes.
جزاه الله خير. But all this is not cheap. You know, it's expensive. The kimono is like at that time 600 dirhams or 500 dirhams.
Yeah.
And you know, you have to have like 3 or 4. One is not enough.
Yep.
So, but I didn't put in my mind one day I'm gonna be. I will teach jiu-jitsu.
Right.
I was a passionate
Mm.
that I want to be. I wish that I have it when I was young, but passion. I want to fight because you know that the fighter inside us, it's still there as a humans, and even as a man or the men, we have it inside us. And
Mhm.
also, I related also to the culture and the nation that we came.
Yeah.
We are a fighter.
Yeah.
I think you understand this.
Yes.
We are a fighter, so we have to fight. You know,
Yeah.
nothing can stop us. So that I was passionate that I wanna fight in competition. I wanna just get medals. I wanna get belts, and I don't know. I have it inside me. Maybe it's genetics, but I have it inside me.
I can completely understand because for me, I see part of it as frustration release. Somebody like me, a lot of people that come from Palestine, from these countries as well, they have a lot of pent-up frustration, a lot of things that they could not express, could not do, and they tend to flow towards martial arts because it allows them that release and it gives them the validation. Because we're living as a culture of Palestinians where most of the world doesn't validate us as a country. Most of the world doesn't recognize us as who we are. So we feel like we need to shout from the roofs and make people hear us. And the way we do that is by being the top engineers, the top doctors, the top fighters. And this is how we get the world to recognize who the fuck we are. And that, like, for me, that's a very passionate thing. You can already hear it. I'm going to get up and
Yeah. I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
I have the same, man. I have the same.
I completely understand.
We need to tell the humanity, to tell the world who we are, who we came from. You know, we are from that nation.
Yeah.
And we are existing.
Yeah, we are here, absolutely. And that's why don't forget us. And it makes me so proud to see some of the big names now in MMA and even Jiu-Jitsu, all right? Now we've got Thabit al-Tahir, we've got Osama Khalid, we've got the black belts starting to show up, we have the Rashid brothers, Sami al-Jamal. It makes me so proud that we're having these recognizable, it's not just in the Middle East, in the States, around the world, they're starting to recognize Firas Zahabi in MMA. Makes me so happy to see fellow Arabs standing at the podiums and the top of the MMA and Jiu Jitsu world. And we're going to see a lot more in the near future, don't you think?
Inshallah, for sure, man. Look, and not as in all Arab countries, man, we have it. We have the good genetics. We're strong and talented. You know, until now, like even Brazilians, when we fought with them, said, "Boa, you are too strong, guy." We have it in our genetic. It's a God gifted. You know, all Arabs, we're strong. We are talented. We learn fast, but we need the things that help us to do it. And Jiu-Jitsu, it's new, and we are. Don't forget that we are the first generation. I consider myself as the first generation in all Arab country doing Jiu-Jitsu, comparing to Brazil is now, I think they reached 12th generation, or America. So we're still, you can see the locals now, Emiratis, the new generation, man. They are unbelievable. They are so insane to do Jiu-Jitsu.
You're so right about the whole new generation and your generation starting it, leading to the Emiratis and the Jordanians. But there's one thing. We talked about genetics, how your father and your uncle, active, fit people, leading to you being active, fit. And as long as you're leading these lives, inshallah, your children will get to enjoy the pleasures of being active, fit, and having this natural strength. But this is where the problem's happening. Modern day is making us all lazy and soft. So the Arabs that today are sitting down watching musalsalat all day, TV shows, and the people that just don't do any physical activity, we will lose this genetically. Regardless where you come from, which region, which country, you're passing down genes to your future generations. They have to be strong too.
Totally with you, but also it's a thing that now in the bad circumstances we have, as I told you, it's a fight between you and you all this life.
Yeah.
So, look, I'm injured in Jiu-Jitsu. I stopped training for a year, maybe because I have this problem in my finger.
Oh, wow.
Even I can't do anything. I have to do a major operation. But man, when this pandemic happened, I forced myself to train at home daily. And I train with my friends at Zoom. We do fitnesses. I lost weight. Because either I have now two ways. Either I'm gonna gain weights, always watch musalsalat and eating bad habits, or I'm gonna train. If I do the bad habits after pandemic, I'm gonna be in a bad health. I'm gonna be like a big, huge, ugly person, or I have to do the right things. I should do it, man. I'm a coke. I'm a like soft drinks addictions. I have. I stop it. I stop it. Like since 2 months, I didn't drink any sip of cola. Train mostly every day. Push my kids to train. I train with push my friends to train, because you know, if you put yourself in the corner, either you make it or you break it. So I force myself.
That's
in
good
this
to
bad
hear,
time.
man.
I'm gonna make it.
And
I'm gonna make it.
That's the beauty, is when you're put in a position that you're truly cornered, which kind of most of the world is. This tends to come out in people. A lot of people think that when others are cornered, they will shell up and they'll cry themselves. But most people actually respond well to this stress. But going back a little on Arab genetics, man, I think we are blessed with good and very bad genes. And in a sense that we are extreme people. We are either hardcore, tough, strong, or we could go down that other route. I know what you're talking about, and I relate totally, man. If I want, I could be 130 tomorrow, kilos. Like there is no difficulty. With love, man, because with I laugh, man, when I see these forums online in the US, Jiu-Jitsu guys, I don't know how to go up a weight class. I'm like, what? I can fucking, what the fuck kind of a problem is this? I can go up a weight class tomorrow, man. It's Arabs also have this gene, which is why we have to also go the extra mile in our training. صح?
But you know, it depends on us now. See, as a father, as a Zaid, now, if you don't train, like you have a kid, right? He will grow up not in sport lifestyle because he didn't see his father or his mother training. So again, it's a fight between you and yourself. If you want to pass something to your dad, and you know, to be honest, like my father and your father time, their type is love, is tough. And we don't have this sport in a lifestyle. But these days we have it.
Absolutely.
So we have to pass it to our kids. And you know, I call it always when I commentate in Jiu-Jitsu, always they complain, what the benefits of UAE to spending all these billions of dirhams for Jiu-Jitsu. I have some saying in my mind. I told them, now, you know, like in GCC, it's and the UAE, I think there's high diabetes countries, you know, because of the lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah, because of the lifestyle. So we have to change the lifestyle. How to change the lifestyle? You will not change the lifestyle of a 35 or 40 years old person. So you start with the kids. You're gonna spend money on those kids. You're gonna to make them a very good health, a very good athletes. They're gonna eat bad. It's okay. We sometimes we have to eat burgers, but they grow up in a fighting lifestyle or a fitness lifestyle. So when he gonna go get married, he will not marry a girl unless she is in lifestyle or she's ready to go to lifestyle.
100%.
Now my wife is training daily at the gym, man.
Nice.
So now me and my wife. We are not me. I mean, the guy and his wife, they are in a sport lifestyle. Even she's doing gym, doing yoga, doing body bomb, body attack, or martial art. The kids, they're gonna grow
naturally,
doing the same naturally.
Exactly.
So now, as a country investment, I'm gonna like pay a lot of in his health and to go for the doctors. I have a healthy, like what they call them, nation, because the father and the mother and the kids, they are doing sport. So it's gonna be a circle going on. We are doing the same as in Europe. In Europe, they have in Denmark, you know, doctors for dentists in the villages, because if you take care of a kid in dentist when he's young, he will be like a good, and his teeth will be good when he's old.
You have to start young, exactly. No, I get you.
You
absolutely.
have to start young.
Absolutely. And I think another great benefit of the whole UAE program is the mental side, because you have the physical, wanting to exercise, wanting to train, but then jiu-jitsu in itself, and I always use this analogy, jiu-jitsu is a language. It's like you teach them German, Japanese, Chinese, you're teaching them jiu-jitsu, and this language bridges gaps between you and other cultures. If I was to go to Germany tomorrow and I don't know anybody. I have no friends, nothing. I just have to walk into a jiu-jitsu gym and I have a new family. I have a new group of best friends. It's an access across cultures. How many times, man, in my work construction, when I worked 12 years in the largest construction company, it was so difficult. I was in business development, trying to get projects, trying to deal with people and stuff. Jiu-jitsu has opened more doors for me than any degree I've gotten in my life. Any university, school, certification. Jiu-jitsu, I'd sit down with certain people from countries, presidents and whatever, and I mention Jiu-Jitsu and MMA.
CEOs, presidents.
Yeah, man. What is this? Wow, cool. Or if they know it, fist bump, or not, like we share something unbreakable. And it's crazy. People need to understand how the value is not just on the mats. It's off the mats, and the world becomes your mat.
Exactly. Off the mat, you can get benefits out of Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
More than any certificates you have, because like if you are a CEO in a company,
yeah.
and I'm a business developer in my company, or I have a business, I have a landscape company. When we met on the mat, there's something common between us.
Yeah.
Sometimes the business is a business, is because because you need to pay your bills and you need to do some, But these things, when you have a common things between people, it's gather them faster than the business, because business is a tough, is a tough. You want a benefits for your company. You don't want your company or your business to lose. But the common things is the things hook us together fast. And I'm totally with you 100%.
Exactly. And that's why me and you can sit down on a podcast after not having talked for a while and talk like this, because we trust that we share a common language between each other. We felt the difficulties both of us have gone through. And it's funny, Ammar, hearing your story about ADCC and you playing on the beach and Sheikh Tahnoon offering for you to train. It's funny how your life just fate. It's sometimes like we say in Islam, it's written for you, right? Whether you're with it or against it, it's written for you. And your fate led you towards being on the mats, whether you liked it or not. And now look, from the mats, it led you to being a gym owner. It led you to being a commentator. It was meant to be almost. And these doors open through this.
Exactly. Always I pass this message to my students even. Told them, now, guys, focus on Jiu-Jitsu, because it's open doors for you in the future you will not expect. I told them my story. I didn't expect that in a day I'm going to be a gym owner or I'm going to get many benefits out of Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
I told them Jiu-Jitsu, it's an international passport, if you allow me to call it. You can go all over the world and you can do something with that Jiu-Jitsu. And we want to thank God and thanks Gracie family, to be honest, for giving us this gift. I always said this message to Master Renzo Gracie. Now, a lot of Brazilians, they have some talks about Gracies and Gracies, but guys, they are the one who give that the sport. Either they are good or bad now, but we have to appreciate what they did for this sport. And it's their right to get benefits out of it, because it's their lifestyle. So, and I'm not gonna go for what they are doing now is good or bad, but they did something good to deliver this sport to us now.
Yeah, regardless of
and
where
we have some saying in Arabic, man la yashkur Allah, man la yashkur al-nas la yashkur Allah. If you need to thank the people, to thank the God. And we have to thank Gracie, for it.
Very well said. That's the thing. It's just human nature almost to partition and to take something to make it your own. Like, look now in the US, they're calling it American Jiu Jitsu, and it's starting to morph and change. And I don't want to train with the gi. And just last week we were talking about it. If you don't train in the gi, then it's not Jiu Jitsu. It's submission grappling. It's like you're morphing the heritage and you're trying to hide who created it. And you have to give credit where it's due to the Gracie family and for bringing this.
Yeah, exactly. To give it to the Gracie family. You can do Jiu-Jitsu, you can call it Jiu-Jitsu, you can call it Ammar Jiu-Jitsu. It's okay. But the things that we are doing now is recognized as a Gracies.
Yes.
So no one, as an adult, you can tell if this guy is a bullshitter or no. So if I say, no, man, Gracie didn't create Jiu-Jitsu, I created. I create my own style. It's okay, but what you're doing is a Jiu-Jitsu. And Gracies, they are the created. So we have to give the things to the guys who created. So what all over the world is doing now, it's a Jiu-Jitsu Gracie. I know it came from India, then came from Japan. It moved to Brazil. They develop it. It's okay, but it's a Jiu-Jitsu Gracie.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there's no doubt about it. And, even the judo community, they say, but it's just newaza. It's not just newaza. Newaza was simplified form of what we are doing today. It was like, like saying punching is boxing. People punched since the dawn of time, right? I'm sure the
Yeah.
caveman punched a wall when he was angry at his wife. It doesn't mean he was doing boxing. Boxing is when it was turned into a martial art, right?
And judo, it's 30 seconds down.
Yeah.
The thing is that jiu-jitsu teach us to be patient, man. 30 seconds, it's very fast. You have to do it fast, but jiu-jitsu, it's a technique. You have to have. It's a chess.
Yeah.
It's a human chess,
Yeah.
and yourself is the chess piece.
Yeah.
Your mind is the master, and your legs, your hands, your hips, your move, your the cloth, your kimono is the chess piece. It's a language between you and your body.
We hear that analogy a lot, Ammar, but then this is where I get frustrated when I see sports BJJ. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing sports BJJ. Yes, it's 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, but it's also rushing jiu-jitsu because you're going for points. You sacrifice your security. Like when you go self-defense, and for example, you have them held very good in closed guard, you're on your back, and you have full control and no punch. Do you rush to sweep them just because you want to get points, or do you keep holding them there? When we do sport, we're also teaching ourselves out of the self-defense version of jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So when you're saying judo was 30 seconds, it rushes you to get the groundwork done. On a larger macro scale, sports jiu-jitsu has become a rushing form of pure jiu-jitsu, the Gracie jiu-jitsu. How do you feel about this? Do you think sports and self-defense jiu-jitsu are two different practices, or are they the same?
With all respect to all martial arts, when I said judo, I think I respect, but that's their style.
Yes.
So our style as a jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
I have a theory about it.
Okay.
Look, jiu-jitsu, it's created for self-defense, okay?
Right.
But if there is no sport or competition for jiu-jitsu, man, you will not see this number of fighters all over around the world. We are living in a peaceful country.
Very true. Very
So
true.
why I need a self-defense? I can't talk to myself why I need a self-defense. I'm not living in Mexico City where I have to be alert. Man, here I never saw a gun in my life. I'm 44 years old. I never saw a gun in my life because I don't have to do it. I don't have to fight on the street. I can send my wife from here to Al Fujairah in her car with zero attention that nothing will happen for them. So with gracious when they created because of jiu-jitsu, Brazil is a dangerous country. You have to have the self-defense especially for kids in the school, for the teenage. You have to know how to defend yourself for a girl. But also you need this life to last for good, to last forever. A self-defense, okay, I had my self-defense course 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. But today I'm bored. I'm not going to go to the gym because, okay, what's going to give me benefits more? Okay, this month I'm going to stop. But if you give it, another image of a sport to be a competition.
Yes.
As a human, we are fighters, man. All over, all of humans, as the large generation, we used to fight with animals to get our food.
Right.
Because, not generations, our grand, maybe 1,000 or 2,000
ancestors,
years ago. So it's a fight mentality. If you sit home, your food will not come to you. As a farmers, you have to fight. You have to fight with in the land. You have to fight with all the gems in the land. You have to fight in a term. So to let the jiu-jitsu last, or a sport, any martial art to last, you have to have that theme of competitions.
Yes.
You need to compete because you need to compete with I need to compete with Zaid to see that I'm developed on that one or on the system, or I'm weak. If I lose, then there is a motivation to go. So I'm with Gracie. I'm with the system to have the self-defense theme. Everyone has to know a benefits, not to do a front roll if someone catch you from your back. It's useless.
Yeah.
But also you have to have the competition system so that the sport will last and the sport will expand all over the world, man. Now you go, as you said, you go to maybe Honolulu, Google, there's a jiu-jitsu gym. You
Absolutely.
go, you hang.
Very difficult not to find jiu-jitsu.
So I'm with the system. Keep it as a self-defense martial art.
Yeah.
But also competition. I know now some people especially when you get old, when you get like 50s, 60s, that the martial art system it will be, because that age is not easy to fight for a person.
Yeah.
And people will get, you know,
Interesting.
I would say it in English, and not the gene, you know.
Like
People will get like, you know, I think not gene mentally.
mature.
So they start to mature. They start to analyze more than the guys in 20s.
Yeah, they
or 30s,
overthink it.
because
Yeah.
they're hungry to fight.
Yeah.
So that's the development of age or life. Keep it as a self-defense, but also keep it as a martial art or a
Right.
sport to competition, because without competition, jiu-jitsu will not last.
It's very well said, Ammar, everything that you said. Like, that is the perfect answer to give somebody that's wondering, why are we going the sport route when we have martial arts? So thank you for that. The only thing, Ammar, I have in my mind is there's a lot of gyms, unfortunately, today that are just totally disregarding the self-defense, right? So you have the sport that you talked about, which is to excel the roots, which is the self-defense, in order to keep it interesting. Because you're right, in Abu Dhabi, we don't need to defend ourselves at all. But it's like, we started the martial art, we might as well learn the self-defense side, right? So should every gym have to have a curriculum for self-defense?
Totally, I'm with you. Should
Yeah.
every gym have to have this curriculum for self-defense? Like in my gym, I started with the kids, because, you know, always love to build with the kids, and you know, women, kids. I have, you know, in the summer camps, you know, bullying in the schools.
Yeah.
It's the things I always focus and concentrate for the kids. You know, building a kids as a teacher. If you see that you build a kid and he can stand for himself, man, that it's for me.
Oof.
Is I'm getting the highest trophy in the world, because
So true.
the benefits I have of jiu-jitsu, I deliver it to a guy. Maybe I change a little bit for his personality. So I have it. I always do courses for kids for self-defense, and I do it for free.
Yeah.
I invited everyone for free, because, you know, as a sport or jiu-jitsu, okay, there is a commercial side, but there is a humanity side. We have to deliver that. Bullying is too much now in the schools. Even look, I grew up in UAE.
Yeah.
All my life is in governmental school. We don't have this type of bullying that what we have now in the private schools.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to admit this. My kids in the private school, okay,
different world,
in Dar academies, but they have a lot of bullying, term of everything, verbal, physical, sexual.
Yeah.
So we have, as an owner or as a teacher, to have a courses for self-defense for kids, anti-bullying for kids, self-defense for adults, and for girls, to see where is the beauty of the martial art.
Exactly.
You want to do a front roll if someone try to catch you from the back.
Yeah.
But if you look at his eyes, you know how can I look in your eyes if I'm not afraid? The confidence I get from the martial art.
100%.
You know, I start jiu-jitsu. There is a friend of mine. He's a bullier. We grow up together. Even he's with me in grade 5. I tell you the story. You know, I was petite. My genetics, like all of our genetics, until age 16 or 17 was so petite, too petite.
Okay.
Like I'm shorter than the guys. They are. I'm older than them. So I try to avoid problem, because I'm the eldest, and you know, we grow up in a mentality. Don't bring problems to your father.
Yeah.
A trouble home, because they will said, no, you are a troublemaker. So I was a quiet guy. Then this guy tried to bully. He bullied me. I have to admit, he bullied me. And still I remember this since I'm a grade 5 man. He's a good friend of mine now, and his family is my friends. We're brothers. But you know, as a kids, we bully each other.
Yes.
At the school. So I try to be away from the trouble, because I know my skills. I'm weak. Until I trained, what they call it, Taekwondo. I'm in a grade 7. I had a fight with a guy in the school. Man, I took the chair. I slapped him with the chair. Because he used to bully me. Yeah, changed because the confidence I have.
Yeah.
But the confidence I got from jiu-jitsu. This guy, he came maybe 1990, 2003 or 4.
Yeah.
He said, hey, Ammar, I heard now you are doing, I don't know, martial art. Let's have a fight. I told him, okay, let's have a fight. I still remember it was in the park. I took him down, double leg, side control, 100 kilos. He couldn't move. I said, oh, man, it's so effective.
Different world.
Man, I saw it in his eyes.
Yes.
Now he respect me in a term of power, not in a term of friends. We're friends.
Yeah, it
but
changed.
In a term of power, he will not mess with me. And this is a message in your podcast.
Yeah.
For all the parents, you have to put your kids in a martial art. If they don't want, push them and put them with the coaches that they know how to deal with the kids. Man, dealing with the kids is in a different world.
Yeah.
And when I opened my gym, I was not the coach for kids because I know I'm not good in it. But then back again, I put myself in a corner that either I have to make it now. I don't have I don't have a coach for kids.
You don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice. Then I downgrade myself to their age, and thanks God, now I change a lot of kids' life. Even they're weak. One of the kids, his name is Jafar. I had a podcast with him, by the way.
Oh, nice.
His father brought him to my gym. That he is the last choice is this, and we have a saying, "Akhir dawal kay."
Yeah.
Is I want to put him. He tried a lot of things. He's weak. He saw the mat. He's crying. He's
the
crying
last attempt.
Because the last attempt, and the kid's crying. So I know, and also I like his dad. He told me what's his situation. So don't put your kids in a gym and leave it for the coach. You have to be honest with the coach. We love our kids, even if they're weak or strong or sick. They're our kids.
Right.
So I have to. He told me my kid has this and this and this in his personality. So I swear to God, man, within 6 months, this guy's changed.
Of course.
Change in turn, personality. Sometimes I put him. I have some kids. If you allow me, I know. I like to talk.
But man, this is a podcast. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, I have a kids in my academy.
Yeah.
So I see this guy. He's weak or he's afraid to fight. Let me put it in this word. I told him, okay, go with. I have a 8 years old boy. His name Marwan. I just give him this click in my eyes, so he knows he's gonna go easy on this guy. And this guy, he's the toughest boy in my gym.
And does he always listen after you wink?
He listen, man. Okay. This guy, he forced me to change my attitude.
I love it. Okay.
Because he look at me as an idol. He wear the things. I like to wear different color of kimonos, black and white. I don't like to wear a kimono one color. Okay. It's a habit. Okay. Even I didn't recognize it. His mom told me about it. I said, "Oh my God." But back to the Jafar story. I just give him this click. He goes easy on Jafar. I went to Jafar. I talked to him in his level. I said, man, you beated Marwan. Marwan, this is the toughest boy in the gym. Then the guy is boost, man.
Yeah.
Then I have a system in my gym is golden tickets and the trophies and medals. If you have 5 golden tickets, you're gonna get a trophy.
Interesting.
And always I give it to the guys they need. I want those guys to love jiu-jitsu. So I give a golden tickets to them.
Very nice.
And I have a talk to them before and after.
Yeah.
And this guy, after 6 months, he got a medal in one of the tournaments. He got the gold medal in a 6 month. He went to the school. That school also, the system of the schools now is good. So if you got a medal in something to encourage the kids, they put them in the assembly.
Yeah, they present it.
To talk about the present. I loved it, man.
Very cool.
It changed the kids' personality, man.
Very cool.
Then this guy, his school, I don't know what the name of school, he let him present his medals. 3 kids after that one, they tried to bully him. Hey, what the sport you know? And they had a fight with him. And the principal talked, the father of Jafar, he went there and he was so nervous because he's the only kid he had and he take care of him. He told him, just take it easy. She showed him the video, just to show him what his kid did. His kid did. He fought with the 3. He beat the 3 guys.
Over the moon.
And 4 of them start crying.
There's an extra person that cried.
He himself he started crying. But the things now Jafar is one of the toughest boys in my academy. My boy Faisal, when I told him play with Jafar, when I feel he's scared. But I don't know what to say.
He tightens his neck. Yeah. Oh yeah. His neck. He swallows.
He swallows. Man, jiu-jitsu changed a lot of kids' personality and lifestyle. It depends on the coach. There's a lot of good coaches around UAE, man.
Yeah.
But the fathers and the parent, they have to be transparent with the coach.
Yeah. Now, I think there's definitely no shortage of talented coaches and different styles. Sometimes you have to try to find the right coach for your kid. But I say this all the time. You don't mess with the kid's health insurance policy. When you have a kid, you make sure there's a health insurance covered for him as he gets older. Jiu-Jitsu is a life insurance policy. When you send your kids to university, forget when they're kids. You start when they're young. If you started your kid when they're 6, 5, 4, some people are starting them that ages these days. When they're 18 to 20, they're in brown belt, black belt territory. You send them to university, close your eyes, put your feet up, you're all good. He's not going to drink, he's not going to smoke, he's not going to do drugs. He's going to be the leader of whatever group he's in because they're all physically intimidated by them. It's a life insurance policy.
I love what you said, and it's happened with me personally, man.
Yeah.
You know, I used to play football,
Yeah.
then I transferred to jiu-jitsu. In that time and sport, I never drink in my life at all. You know, when we were young, parties after parties, I missed most of the after parties and parties because the next day I have a competition.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
I never smoke in my life. So I have to have a choice. My friends, they go,
So
Ammar,
big.
let's go. I tell them, guys, I have a tournament.
Yes.
If I have to be prepared. If
Yes.
I don't do it, I will lose. If I lose,
My coach
I'll
will
be
kill
secret
me.
between myself that I lose, the coach will kill me. And you know,
Yeah.
it's something personally, man.
Yes.
That's what you want. You want to win.
Yeah.
And for this is life policy. I have 2 kids. They joined Basel and Ma'an. They're Palestinian Jordanian. They start when they're 13 or 14 with me. Now they are in the universities.
Ah, okay.
One of them in UK, one of them in Canada. They start, man, young boys, petite. Now all their life in sport. Basel is
That's
every
amazing.
day in Instagram or in Instagram doing training. He is focusing in sport. So
Yeah.
smoke, drinking, he's away from it.
Impossible.
And the teenage period is the most dangerous like period in the kids time.
Yeah.
If he pass it,
Yeah.
then he's okay.
Yeah. I've seen it so much and in so many kids. Like I remember my first experience of a young person that spoke and acted like an adult. I was a blue belt and I see Libby. You know Libby?
Libby, man.
Yeah. So
It's a good example, man.
he was 14 or 15. I was 26 blue belt, 27 blue belt. And I'm seeing this young guy. You can't tell. He's a big kid. He's a tall kid. So you can't tell exactly how old he is.
Yeah.
So humble, so focused. And when he was talking, I was asking him questions because I'm like, man, goddamn, this kid has his brain screwed on good. And I didn't call him a kid, this guy. Then when I found out from Zumbi that he's 15 and he's like rolling and kicking the ass of a black belt judo guy that time, I'm like, man, there's no way I won't get my kid in jiu-jitsu because if he's that confident at 15, khalas, he's set for life.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
I know Libby since he's a white belt, man.
Yeah.
He came to train with us. We take care of him as a kid, you know. And he was, he's tall, but a kid.
Yeah.
But man, he's a very good example of jiu-jitsu and how jiu-jitsu changed his life.
Yeah.
Maybe he is not in not in education,
Yeah.
but now his job is from jiu-jitsu, man.
So true.
it can be a career. It can be like a career gives you your food for you and your family.
Yeah, opens
They're all over
doors.
the world. I can go now to Canada. I can go to Palestine. I can go to Honduras. I open my own academy.
100%. 100%. And aside from just academy, like we're saying, even if your career isn't jiu-jitsu, it'll open doors in your career because today there's people training jiu-jitsu all over the world that their career is not jiu-jitsu. So I might be in an oil and gas meeting or conference and I'll bump into the CEO of a company who is a jiu-jitsu blue belt and I'm a brown belt and now we're clicking, we go train, I share a few techniques, we're buddies. Now it's just different. Like it just happens naturally through jiu-jitsu. It's not forced. That's the big
Exactly.
thing. I wanted to ask you, Ammar, I would be remiss not to get to this point, but you getting to the point where you're receiving your black belt. So you started training 2000. When did you get your black belt?
2011.
11 years. And
there is a story behind it. You know. I if you allow me to share it.
Please, yeah.
I got my blue
hear.
belt. I got my blue belt in a 6 month.
Okay.
Not because I'm a superhero.
Okay.
And this is a message for the guys that are talking the belt. Because I'm the first generation and I felt it. It's a smart from Olavo Obrio. I was
Okay.
good. I was tough, using power as a white belt,
Yeah,
as a
naturally.
muscular guy, I use power. Naturally, that's power. The things that we know. Pass the guard, I'll take you down by power.
Mm.
Then in a 6 month, he gives me my blue belt.
Oof.
So that belt gives me a confidence, man, that I'm the champion of the world.
Wow.
And it pushed me to keep training because in that time there's no one training jiu-jitsu, a few guys.
Mm.
So I don't know when I get my purple belt. Then after that, there's some circumstances happened. I don't want to go involve it here in UAE for jiu-jitsu. They kept me
Mm.
5 years in my purple belt. And Muhammad Jihad, there's one Palestinian Brazilian guy,
Mm.
Alex Baz, I think Alex Baz,
Yes.
Zumbilara, Zumbilara, Bologna. They
Yes.
are talking to the coaches. Man, Ammar, he should get his brown belt. 5 years, man. My mom, she used to wash my belt every day, I think. And I told my mom, Mama, please don't wash. My belt changed to be white, from purple to white.
Oh wow. Okay.
But always the guys, they're telling me, yani, and I'm patient. One of the guys, they said, Ammar, let's go take a belt from other coaches. Um, I don't want to mention the coach. They
Yeah. Yeah.
came visit
I
Dubai
understand.
sometimes, do seminars do seminars and get the belt from them. I told them, listen, I'm not gonna get my belt from someone who didn't train.
Mm.
I'm not gonna get my belt from someone. If I walk in a street without kimono, he will not recognize me.
Right.
The belt, it's a piece to tie to your kimono.
Yes.
I know the colors matter,
Yeah.
but you have to talk to yourself.
Yeah.
It's a piece to tie to your kimono. Your kimono is ugly if it's open.
Yes.
It's look nice when it's tied.
Yep.
I know the colors matter, but also you have to wait.
Ammar, if
I waited for.
sorry, no, but I just want to add to one
That's okay.
point. To add to what you're saying, if you went with another coach, he wouldn't know that you got your blue belt in 6 months. He wouldn't know your progress history, because I believe every coach, and I do believe in giving the coach the total right over the belt of his student. Because if the student stays with that coach throughout his jiu-jitsu career, let's say, nobody knows him better. Your coach saw you and knew that by giving you the blue belt, he'll keep you stuck in jiu-jitsu, you'll stay down the right path, and it'll also boost your confidence. If he gave that blue belt to somebody different, maybe it'll make him quit. But for you, it kept you. So if you went to a new coach, maybe he wouldn't know this story and he'd mess up that process for you.
Yeah, as you said, man, the right is for the coach.
Yeah.
The coach, he knows Ammar better than Zaid. He knows Zaid. Ammar is an arrogant guy, so I'm not going to give him the blue belt. He will be. Zaid is a humble guy. So giving Zaid as a blue belt is creating a confidence, is creating a continuity for his jiu-jitsu. So I told the guys, I'm not going to take my belt. Man, the last day for my coaches in UAE, the last day, because they told them it's okay, your contract is over, you have to back to Brazil.
Oh, okay.
In their last day, they give me my brown belt, and they know if they continued. And to be honest, I want to mention something. I don't know if it's right or wrong. With all respect to all Brazilians, at the beginning of jiu-jitsu, they don't have that faith to give the Arab people their brown or black belt. I think they're scared that we're gonna take their places.
Interesting.
And I felt it that time. And I told them, guys, my job is different. I have my own company.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a jiu-jitsu coach, even in as an employee in a company. Because of the circumstances that in that time, I don't want to go deep on it, but they refused to give me the brown belt. They give it to me the last day in here in Olavo Obrio in Abu Dhabi, and I respect it. I stayed 5 years in my purple belt with love, with passion. But man, it taught me a lesson.
Yeah. No, it's. I really believe that everything has its purpose in life, whether or not your coach had it in mind. Sometimes there's a greater hand in life guiding you, right? Sometimes, something bad happens to you. Like I had a spinal fusion surgery at 15, and I spent so many years regretting why me, why when I'm 15, when all my friends are doing sports and excited and moving, I'm sitting in a bed taking nerve painkillers. Today, I look back, if that didn't happen to me, I wouldn't have the awareness of my body I have today. To you, yes, you got your blue belt in 6 months, but then you actually sat in your purple belt for 5 years. But by your purple belt, your coach probably knew you'd stay, regardless of the drama and the politics. I know this exists. Listen, in everything, in football, look at the UAE football history, look at the international, look at Spain, look at Italy. They'll kill each other over these things. Every sport and martial art has these cliques, and it's a normal, natural state. My belief is everybody has their journey, and it cannot be the same. And as long as in the end you arrive at a position where you're contributing to others, not just to you. I see you, Ammar, and the thing that I can't deny about you, and the thing I like about you, I see you from your heart wanting, you know, we say the intention. The niyyah بالعربي, like, you know, it's something very important to us.
I know.
This is something in history. To judge a person, you got to look at his intentions. And if his intentions is like money, getting business, getting this, you'll see it. Like you said, the person that says, oh, I invented Jiu-Jitsu, not the Gracies, you'll see that shit. With me, Ammar, I respect this about you. Ever since I met you, you're nonstop. And training kids is not somebody that wants money. This is a psychopath. There are easier ways in life to make money than teaching kids Jiu-Jitsu.
Man, I swear to God, after a 1 hour teaching kids, you need another 1 hour therapy.
Oh yeah.
Because it's very hard, man.
Yeah.
You need to take care of the kids. And you know, all the kids, they want you.
Yeah.
Which is a problem. So this Ali, Hassan, John, they want you. Yeah. And after the class, you have to talk to them.
Yeah.
You have to talk to their parents.
Yeah.
It's a very exhausted. And you know, but you know, in my age, honestly, I love it, man. I love to change something good in any kids. And it's a message, man, you know?
Yeah.
It's a message. كاد المعلم أن يكون رسولا. And I said, what this bullshit, man, they said about it. A teacher is not a teacher in the school, a teacher in everything, you know?
Yeah.
But when you change something in a kid, he will be, your name will be with him
for life
until his last day. Now, Olavo Obrio, he's in Thailand. The last time I saw him is maybe 2009 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
But still, when I got my black belt, the first one I thank is him. Even that time he was not following me in Instagram, but I thanks him because that the things I feel it's right to do. He's the one who is helping me, teach me, gives me everything. And you know the coach, I swear to God, once happened with me, Olavo Obrio. You know, sometimes now these days, if a student beat his coach, he will not respect him. Olavo Obrio, when I used to fight with him, sometimes I put him in a position that almost like I tapped him. You know, he stand up, he pushed me. You know why he pushed me? Because he's so happy. He said, "Booha," and he goes and hug me again. Very good, Ammar.
I love to hear that.
It's a message again. It's a message again. If man, I'm imagine I have 5 black belts under me. Imagine or this Basil, he's now 18 years old, and in 5 years he's gonna be a black belt. He's gonna be like 23, 24. But for sure he's gonna beat me, man.
Yeah.
Because of age and the new techniques.
Yep.
But I will be happy.
Yes.
Because if my student beated me, that means I'm a good coach.
Yeah, that's a sign of a good
teacher.
If
I have a bad student, if I've tapped all my students, that means my students, and they are not good in Jiu-Jitsu. They go in a tournament, they lost. So that means I'm bad, man.
I think, you know,
this message.
Sorry, not to interrupt you, Ammar. It's just, I need to touch on this as you say it, because a lot of people think that it's simply about the result on the mat and in competitions. There's a lot more to it too. Like there's the personality growth. Like you say, a kid, the way he looks at another person, the way he stands changes when he does Jiu-Jitsu. Also, a person who has a big ego. Somebody comes to the mat, he's an asshole to everybody, right? If you get him to stick to Jiu-Jitsu long enough, he'll suddenly become a nice guy. Because he has to become a nice guy to learn. Otherwise, he will have to quit.
And Jiu-Jitsu break all egos, man. You know, power and these things, we go power is especially with Jiu-Jitsu, power is useless, man. Put someone in half guard, take his back, rear naked choke. What the power? What the benefits of your power? Nothing, man. You're gonna lose, and it happens in my family. My brother Muhammad, man, you know him. He's strongest. He's strong like hell. But Jiu-Jitsu humbles him a little bit. He's still young. It's gonna humble him more and more and more. Jiu-Jitsu break all the arrogancy for anyone in the mats. this is the therapy.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like I was talking previously on my podcast with Amadou George and Bruninho, and we were discussing that there is the mental graduation of belts and the physical graduation. So many guys are only looking at the physical graduation, which is I tapped out the blue belt. Why am I not getting my blue belt? There's more to it. I tapped out the purple belts. Why am I not getting it? Maybe you tap them out, but you're a fucking asshole. Like maybe you tap them out, but you treat people like shit. And if you get a purple belt, you will be a symbol of what a purple belt should be. And the white belts that come in, they see a purple belt being an asshole. Maybe you'll cut their jiu-jitsu journey because like, I don't want to be like that guy. And they walk out the doors. When you wear a belt in jiu-jitsu, I'm a firm believer you're an ambassador of that belt. And everybody below that belt is looking at you to what I could possibly be in jiu-jitsu. And if you're an asshole, you're going to make people quit. Do you want to make people miss out on jiu-jitsu? That's crazy.
That's crazy. And you know, especially to be honest, because maybe we are in the second generation, it's for, and Arabs it's a lot, man. It's a lot. People start to argue with their coach. Why you give this guy a blue belt? He didn't deserve it. You know, I have an accident. He quit the guy. He's not training jiu-jitsu. His name is Saleh Qawasme.
Okay.
He used to train in 2012 when I opened my academy small, not primal gym. We used to train in another gym as a step to build our team, and we reached 60 guys.
Is that Gladiator?
I give Saleh Qawasme. It's a Gladiator.
Okay.
Yeah. My team is from since day one is a Gladiator.
Yeah.
Even I didn't change the name because you know it's like your son. It's a Gladiator and it's gonna stay Gladiator. You know, this guy, I give him a blue belt. He is 70% ready for a blue belt. But you know, the confidence and my students, one of them is my brother, they argue, he said, Ammar, this guy is not ready for a blue belt. I said, it's okay. It's okay. But I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, not because I'm genius, because the years I spent on the mats, man, in 2013 or 14, I spent like 14 years in the mats. That it comes with the experience. It doesn't come because you study a lot. Okay, study is different, but with the experience. I give them a blue belt, and the next day I give other guys a blue belt because they deserve really a blue belt. But this guy is 70% blue belt. I give them a blue belt. In the next day, Zaid, I put him in a fight with a guy. Saleh, he's like maybe 70, 75 kg. I put him with a brown belt. I give the guy another. He's a Canadian. We call him Big Mike. I put him in a roll. You know the confidence that Saleh got? He took his back. Saleh took the brown belt back and tapped him in a rear naked choke. I look at the students. You know, sometimes a teacher, a coach job is not on the mat. It's in and out. And every time I look at the guys and tell them, look what the blue belt gives Saleh. A confidence, man, to beat a guy he is 50 kg or 30 kg more than him.
So interesting. And
tapped him in a rear naked choke, man. A coach job, this is a message for Arabs. A coach job is not inside the mat, man. It's inside and outside the mat. It gives you the style, especially with the blue, white and blue belt. Like if I see Zaid or Muhammad is a style is a half guard. He said, Coach, I don't want to fight in half guard. I want to go for spider guard. I said, it's okay. You can learn spider guard, but I want you to focus in half guard. I will tell you why. Because during the rolls, I don't like to fight or to roll during the rolls. Most of the roll, I like to watch my students. I sacrifice because I think I need to see what they're doing what they're doing to see to adjust here and there. And during the competition, like Zaid, he's in half guard, but in the fight he goes for spider or close guard or takedown. But when he's in the corner in a fight, he goes for half guard. So that's mean that is
he trusts this.
He trusts this. So I try to develop it from the trust.
Yes,
I'm a half guard person.
Yeah,
but a lot of my students, they're not half guard. Like Ahmad, he's a spider guard. Yeah. So I need to develop his spider guard and after spider guard. So when you sweep somebody's spider guard, okay, there's a variation. People, they will go out from your spider guard, they will go in, they will catch your band. Jiu-Jitsu, it's like, there's analysis. In a position, there is 300 under positions. So a coach job is inside and outside. So this is a message for Arabs, especially.
So true.
You have to believe in your coach, what he's doing, not because of arrogancy.
Mm.
Believe, and it's happened. I think Lama Qubaj, you're gonna meet her. I met those girls in my podcast,
Mhm.
and I know Sami Jamal, Coach Sami, yani, from 1999 from ADCC.
Okay.
So he told Lama, she's a black belt now. Ask her about this story. He told her from day one, your technique. She's a white belt.
Mhm.
Since she's a white belt, you're a half guard person.
Mm.
Now she's a black belt. She took 10 years to get a black belt, and still she's a half guard person.
Yeah.
She developed her half guard variation.
Do you feel that sometimes it could be mentally forced on a person? Like we call it a self-fulfilling prophecy. If somebody tells us, oh, you're going to be broke for the rest of your life, and you accept it, you'll end up broke the rest of your life. Do you feel like if a coach
No.
tells somebody you're a half guard player from a white belt, it'll kind of force their mind into half guard?
No, man. It's not like this. It's because the coach, he can, when you're on a grade one, or you don't know anything about math,
Yeah.
or anything about history. When someone is trying to explain, you feel, wow, how this guy put all this information in his mind. I don't know 10 by 10, 10 multiply 10. But because of the experience this guy he has and the knowledge,
Repetition.
look, I cannot be a math teacher.
Yeah.
You cannot be a math teacher.
Yeah.
Not everyone he can be a host for a podcast, right? Otherwise, you're gonna see 3,000 people doing a podcast.
Yeah.
But who lost?
A lot of bored people.
The guys they lost that thing. Yeah, few people because they have it, man.
Right.
It's a God gift.
Right.
It's a gifted from God. So when the coach told you it's a half guard or you're gonna be, he will not play only half guard, but because he see it in you,
Mhm.
and because he see it in you, Coach Sami, he's been maybe 40 years in his time in his life in jiu-jitsu, man.
Yeah,
So,
I heard so much about Sami.
he's a
as well.
professor. He's a professor. I had a podcast with him. He's talking in a passion, man. You have to meet this guy because he's the highest rank in Arabs in the Middle East. He born in Brazil and he brought it.
Crazy.
And he told me something interesting.
Mm.
He learned a message from his student when he's 50 years old.
Yeah, you never stop learning. What's that message that he learned?
When he has his own academy source, then some trouble has with his partner. He left his academy. The first five of his black belt in Jordan, none of them goes with him.
Yeah, I know about this. Okay.
Man, he told me he didn't regret that time. He told me, Ammar, that time, give me that lesson. I learned from the first 5 black belt I get in Jordan.
Yeah. It's a difficult and rewarding at the same time. Like part of the process of being a teacher is giving a piece of yourself to somebody and watching them fly away. Right? Sometimes you cannot control everybody, and you have this in so many sports. You see this in movies and history, where the coach invests so much in the student, yet he overwhelms them. And at some point, the student has to spread their own wings and do their own thing. And that's always a difficult part for the coaches. But for me, man, it's so interesting to hear that like you had your coach from white to brown, and then you had to like be away from your coach because of the circumstances, right? What did you do after brown belt? Yeah, exactly. So like, what did you do?
Country, I keep training in the federation. There is guys, Hamad Jihad, he's Palestinian, Brazilian. He speaks zero Arabic.
Okay.
He helps me that time. Zombi Lara.
Oh, wow.
He was one of the guys affected me.
Wow.
And he teach me, he has the coach's mentality. I have a lot of techniques. And by the way, I used to fight when I reach brown and black. Most of my tournaments, I always face Zombie Lara.
I love it. And you guys are both half guard guys.
Yeah, I always love a Zombie Lara. And it's dangerous because both of us have got. Or Alex Baz. Alex Baz, I respect this guy a lot, man. He's a big guy. Giant.
Killer.
He can't blame you with one finger.
Yeah, killer.
But a coach, he gives you space when you roll with him.
Yeah.
Then Muhammad Jihad, Alex Baz, Zombie Lara, they have some effects. But Muhammad Jihad and Alex Baz, they are the one who built Ammar from brown to black belt. And until now, I respect all of those guys, man.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I continue my journey, but I keep it as a sign to myself. I have to respect Olavo. He is in Thailand now. Most of my students, they doesn't know that there is Olavo kept me 5 years in a brown belt for politics. I will not say this to them,
Mm.
but I want to say it in new podcast to message. You have always to respect the guys who taught you something.
Yeah.
These guys affected me like for 9 years in my life in jiu-jitsu.
That's a
9 years
long
is too
time.
much, man.
That's a decade.
It's
Yeah.
a long journey, man. It's a long journey.
Yeah. It's fantastic, man. Like the thing is, always when you're in the micro, you get stuck in things. Because you're in the micro, there's zawarib, like there's small alleyways and turns,
Yeah.
and you're fixated. But somebody in a helicopter up on top is looking at the city plan and be like, man, why is he struggling there? There's a street there. For me, I see our community like that right now, especially Jiu-Jitsu in the Middle East. It is something that was forced, right? Make no mistake, this was not a natural process. Sami al-Jamal was a natural process. It just so happened he was born in Brazil, has an attachment to Jordan, comes back, starts teaching. But the UAE itself was a forced situation because they saw tremendous value in what it can provide. So many cultures, many backgrounds were forced into each other to collide, right? And nobody knows how to navigate that. Nobody knows how to deal with it. You grew up in a difficult time being the first Arab generation under a forced Brazilian community that came to teach, that's starting to reach up to the point where they'd be recognized as a teacher. I understand the politics around it, but I ask everybody in my mind, I like to look at things always in the macro because we make our mistakes in the micro. In the macro, you don't, not as much. I think we have so much more to gain by learning and listening to each other's stories and benefiting ourselves. It's a rising tide that raises all boats. If we look at Ammar's journey, and we see how he got to where he is and why he is what he is, how he's impacting the lives of kids, I can learn. I'm a purple belt. One day I'll be a black belt. I'm learning from Zumbi Lara. He's my coach from day one. When I do a podcast with you, man, I hear these life lessons and I start trusting in the experience. Until you, 14 years, until you had your first student, you know when to give the blue belts, you know when to give the brown. So you got to trust that process. But inshallah, man, my goal is, inshallah, to have a lot of people close that gap, realize we all go through the same journey. We're all jiu-jitsu competitors and athletes and coaches and parents. And there's more to gain by listening and keeping an open mind. And I wanted to ask you, in your words, Ammar, because of your experience, what is BJJ? What is jiu-jitsu to you?
Jiu-jitsu, it's a lifestyle. It's a therapy.
Mm.
It's a language between me and my fairness. They call it fairness. The things I'm worried to do it.
Mm.
You know, my personality. I'm hesitating. Always. When I was young, I'm scared to do things because maybe it will be wrong or it will be right. What the circumstances is gonna be after. But man, jiu-jitsu, it's forced me and helps me to face my fear. So that anything's happened in the round, you know, life is ups and down.
Yes.
And even if you are a king or if you are the poorest guy in the world, it's ups and down. You need something to help you how to say it in English, something to help you تتخطى يعني, you know,
To pass it, to overcome.
to pass it, something to help you to go over it and
Yeah.
just to win that fight. Jiu-jitsu helps me a lot. You know, I like to tell this story. When I was a kid, I never played under the bed. You know, we used to hide after, not they used to hide when you play
Okay.
short harami under the beds. I
Hide and
never
seek.
did this because I hide and seek. I think that's in my belief. If I goes under the bed, there's no oxygen. I can't breathe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can't breathe. I never did this in my life. I never goes under the bed in my life. 44 years old. But man, jiu-jitsu taught me if someone he's 150 kg, put all his stomach from the mount in my face, don't panic.
Yeah.
You can breathe. And it's happened a lot for me.
Yeah.
A lot, man. This is a simple story. Now in my life, you know, I have a business, ups and down, ups and down. My wife told me this, man, how come you're relaxed? I said, it's okay. I have to be relaxed. I don't have to be panicked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be panicked. Otherwise, I will all my actions. And when you're panicked, it will go wrong.
Yes, so true.
You know, I think jiu-jitsu it's close to our. You know, I'm a Muslim and I consider myself a little bit religious. There is a common things between religion and beliefs and jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
In a religion, if something happened, it's not in your hand, it's in God's hands. One day you will pass it. There is an obstacle, it's gonna be in your life. Either
Mhm.
you say yes or no, either if you are a son of the king or a son of the farmer. So you need a therapy to teach you how to go over these things and in a good conditions. Because if you believe that bad things that happens for you, the bad things will happen for you.
Yes.
You know, it's a thing that believe. If you believe you're gonna pass this obstacle, you will pass. But sitting home crying, sitting home, oh, I'm dead. Nothing will happen. Just breathe, inhale, exhale, give yourself a seconds to think, and give it to the God. You know how many times in jiu-jitsu you were like choked and you can't move and you think I'm gonna tap, I'm gonna pass out. Suddenly you are in a top position.
Yeah.
And if allow me, it happens to me in European in 2010.
Okay.
I always fight under the category 94. That time Zombie was with us in
Nice.
Zombie Lara and a lot of Brazilians and Europeans.
Okay.
Man, I always, because I'm paying this all from my money.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, when you go to the airplane, your weight and this thing, always I play underhanded while I'm 93 kg.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be, I don't like to cut weight.
Yeah.
I don't like to cutting weight at all. Once happens in my life. So, and I love food.
Exactly.
So I play under 100 kg.
Yeah.
You go eat there, shuhashkariya, man. You cannot deny it.
Absolutely.
But I went there. The second fight for me, it was with a judo guy. When I met him in the mat, man, I recognize him from his gi.
Mm.
Then I shake his hand. His hand reached here, man. Big guy. I said, damn, man. I put him in a half guard.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with myself in a half guard. For me, this conversation, it lasts maybe 10 minutes, while it's seconds in the reality.
I know, time changes.
I can't remember. It's 2010. At that time, I think I had Maria. I told myself, I go from Abu Dhabi to Lisboa to lose from the second fight or the third fight. That means I'm gonna be either third or out. No way. I has this conversation with myself. I told that's no way. And suddenly, I don't know how, that synchronization between my mind and my hips, without knowing, I swear to God, without knowing, I found myself at the top position, and the referee is giving 2 points.
I love it. I love it, man.
And then that confidence I had from that conversation, I beat that guy, man. The guy, he was so pissed outside.
Oh shit.
He's so pissed. And one more thing, once I never shared this story.
Please do.
In 2008, and there's in Jordan, there's called Capital Challenge between UAE, Jordan, and Brazil.
Interesting.
Okay, I was a purple belt, and that time there's not a lot of purple belt in between Jordan and Brazil. A few, maybe 5 or 6, and they have this draw. And I knew there's one Egyptian guy. He is training in Jordan. He's a judo African champion, judo Egyptian champion, and he was 120 kg.
Oh shit!
I knew the first fight I'm gonna be with him. The story, because I'm from different teams, so that they have to put this with me.
Yes.
At the draw. And the accident, this guy 3 months ago, I played with him in Abu Dhabi, and I think he won 20-0.
Damn.
Because of the fairness. Yeah, because he's a judo guy, and Olavo told me, Ammar, go for half guard.
Oof.
I said, okay. But I was so scared, man. I was so scared of the man. Took me down, judo, boom, stand up, took me down, judo. And Olavo said, Ammar, boah. This Brazilian. Boah, what you doing? The fear I had, I lost.
Yeah.
Then I went to Jordan. The first fight is him.
Oh shit.
Again, another conversation between me and between Ammar and Ammar. I told Carlos was there. I told him I'm gonna beat this guy. Before we had the fight,
nice.
He looked at me. He looked at me in this, he was he's my coach, but he's he knew that I'm gonna lose because the guy he kicked my ass like two months ago.
Okay.
Man, I went to that fight. I took from this guy 6 points. Half guard, took his back, half guard, sweep him, another stand up, half guard. I had a strategy because I can't submit this guy. He's too big.
Yeah.
I played it smart. And this guy, he went outside. It's crying because he didn't expect he's gonna lose from the guy, like he kicked his ass.
Wow.
And
wow.
And after that, I won all my fight until I reached the final. The final, I had it with the guy I lost from him at the fairness tournament in 2003 in Abu Dhabi.
Wow. Because also the circle was so small back then. You're competing with almost the same guys.
Yeah, but I have it in my mind. I lost from him 2003 or 4, I can't remember.
Yeah, and it came back.
I took my revenge in 2008.
Man, it's so important to talk about this and for people like you to share these, because a lot of people, they see it as a sensitive or like a moment of weakness in the past. It's important to share these stories because it shows you it really is in the mind. Like, you talk to yourself, you told yourself in that moment, I'm not fucking losing to this guy again, and something clicked and it worked. Sometimes the difference between a win and a loss in jiu-jitsu is that it has nothing to do with what happened in the gym. It's here. I know this feeling myself. I go into competitions sometimes locked up in my brain. I feel like I'm looking at myself. You know that camera in the UAE, mat number 1? The big crane?
Yeah.
I feel like that camera sometimes. Crane. I'm just watching the match. I'm in the match, but I feel like I'm the camera, not the fighter. And I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Other times when I warm up right, I'm moving right, I feel good, that's when I compete good. I love these stories, man, and thank you for sharing that. It's important
thank you.
For us to look at that perspective, man. Ammar, everything you said about what jiu-jitsu is, conquering your fear, I relate to so much because I come from a similar mindset of jiu-jitsu. It helped me overcome social anxiety. It helped me overcome so many fears of my own body's abilities. After my surgery, after my knee surgery, after all this, doctors were telling me I can't run, I can't do anything. But when I'm submitting guys, when I'm rolling with guys, and I'm keeping up with tough guys, I know they're competitors. It helps me break down that fear of my own body. So I appreciate you saying that. Ammar, you are a busy guy. You're also sharing a lot of love, not just through UFC, MMA. You're also sharing love with your podcast as well. Could you tell us a little bit about your podcast and what it's about?
Podcast, I did my podcast. Everyone's telling me, Ammar, you have to do podcast.
Yes.
You talk good, especially in Arabic. You talk good in Arabic, and you have it, and you have this journey from Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, and most of that's my point. I know my point of view. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but most of the Arabs in Jordan and Egypt and Saudi, they don't speak English. Okay,
true.
So I'd like to deliver something in Arabic for the Arabs. I took the Desert Force mentality. Desert Force came for the Arabs, and I want something for the Arabs because
I like that.
As Arabs, man, we need a lot of changes. To be honest, maybe we cannot see it, me and you here in UAE, but there is in Arab world a lot of things to be changed in MMA,
of course, yes,
in Jiu-Jitsu mentality, so that I wanna have this part of my journey, of my experience to be shared for the Arabs. And sometimes they talk bad things about me in social media when I try to do something, but I swear to God, I want to do it. I'm doing it for love. I do want to do my podcast. One of the guys, I hang up and I switched, like I end up my conversation with him. I said, I'm not gonna do this. I don't want you in my podcast to say something bad about Zaid, and Zaid something said bad about Ammar. If you do this, what the benefits we're gonna get, guys? Okay, Arabs mentality is this, but we have to change.
Yeah.
Zaid has a podcast. He hosts me in his podcast, and I have a podcast. Doesn't mean that, Ammar is in the top level because he hosts Zaid in his podcast. That's nothing. No, guys.
Yeah.
We are Arabs. We support each other.
Yeah.
I support Zaid and Zaid support me.
Yeah.
And Muhammad Al-Hosani, okay, he is a commentator in the UFC.
Yeah.
But when he is working in Abu Dhabi Sport Channel, when they ask him to brought a commentator, he didn't say, Ammar is my competitor.
Exactly.
Ammar. No.
Exactly.
Man, this mentality, what we want in Arabs.
Yeah.
If you have your own academy, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
You will not eat anything of my food if God have it for me.
Yeah.
Arabs, we need a unity,
Yes.
which is the things that we don't have it.
Well
We
said.
have, oh, this guy is Jordanian, this guy Palestinian, this guy is local. Guys, we are the only nation in the world speak the same language. I can go to Morocco in a week. I can understand the accent. I can go to Iraq,
Yes.
to Egypt. We have the same language. We
Yes.
have the same ethics, culture, but why we are not united?
Yeah.
This is the things that I want in my podcast. I want the Egyptian to be the best in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I want the Jordanian to be the best in MMA. I want the Arabs to be the best in MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. I want to see one Jordanian or one Egyptian or one Moroccan hold UFC belt. What you told me about Zahi, about what is his name? Firas Dahabi. Do you know Firas Dahabi?
Yeah.
But you know him as a Firas Dahabi, but he is your cousin?
No, obviously not.
He's not your cousin.
Obviously
He's
not.
Your cousin.
You have pride.
But you're proud. But you're proud that he is Firas Dahabi because he's Arab.
Yes.
Saif Saud, man. This guy, he has his Forex MMA. Once he came here in Abu Dhabi, I spoke to Hosseini. I told him, man, this guy is in Abu Dhabi. He's Hosseini, without arrogance, he said, Ammar, can you bring him to do an interview with him in Abu Dhabi TV? I called Abdurrahman al-Barghouthi.
Yeah.
Abdurrahman, Saif Saud, bring him.
Yeah.
If you can. He brought Saif Saud. I went by myself because my kids that have Iraqi, have Palestinian, Jordanian. I took them and the TV. I told them, my kids, they want to take a picture with you. This guy's so humble. He said, Ammar, we love to help Arabs. Why Arabs in outside, they like to help Arabs, and Arabs in Arabs country, we don't want to help Arabs?
It's an environment. Unfortunately, when you're put in a situation where you're stressed, everybody thinks for themselves. It's not very easy these days, especially in a lot of these Arabic countries. Like we look in the UAE, I have to say honestly, in the UAE, because you said you might not know in Jordan, in Egypt or something, right? In UAE, we have been slightly spoiled because we live in an environment where we feel safe enough to express and safe enough to reach our arm across. You know what I mean? It's a blessing. But you see people in Jordan sometimes struggling for work, especially now with these times, these pandemics, Palestine, all of these places. In the end, you're right. I love the message you're saying. We have more in common than we have different. And when people start looking at things as a rising tide, al-mad, all of the boats rise together, right? I would rather have 10% of something than 100% of nothing. Most people end up with 100% of nothing because they want everything. And that's not how the life works. That's not how... If I now raise Ammar and Ammar raises me, we can see further. So we can get more. But if me and him fight down low, none of us can step on the other's shoulders. We're not going to see what's ahead of us. There's no way we're going to see what's ahead of us. So I agree with you.
What you said, man.
I agree with you, Ammar.
I love it.
Yeah, and I have so much love for you and respect. I have so much love and respect for Mohammed Hossein because, listen, we're young. We don't see where this is going. There is a huge future in all of this, in Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, sports in the Arab world. We need more people. Come, join us, be part of this, be part of the movement. Tell your brothers and sisters, tell your cousins, invite people to Jiu-Jitsu, to MMA. Let's grow this environment. Stop keeping it to yourself. Only when there's more people will we grow. And I'm so excited. That's why I'm even doing this. I'm excited to see where this is headed.
And also one thing, man, it doesn't harm Ammar to learn when he's 44. If you don't know MMA, man, I have my own gym. I'm not an MMA coach, man.
Yeah.
I cannot be an MMA coach.
Yeah.
I consider myself jiu-jitsu and I can help. I'm not a striker coach.
Yes.
I have to bring a striker coach. Okay, some of the guys, they said, oh, how can I bring, if I have open a gym, I have to bring a striker, conditioning. If you know all of these, if you know good, okay, but it doesn't affect you if you ask help from Zaid,
100%.
from Hassan. Man, with unity, we can be big. Americans, man. Now, in jiu-jitsu, in MMA, who's the best? Americans, man. Yeah. No one can deny it.
Yeah.
But how come? American top team, they have a striker coach, they have a jiu-jitsu coach, conditioning, dietitians, mentality, physiology. They have everything. So it doesn't harm if I go to Sam al-Jamal to ask, to seek for help. He will help. As you said, the foundation of the pyramid, it gives us more. If we are 100, it gives us more than if we are 5. If we are 5, We're
Yes.
gonna have one champion.
Yes.
If we are 100, we're gonna have 10 champions. So
Yes.
I think we have to change our mentality. The guys that are living in Jordan, in Egypt, in Morocco, still we need a lot of time, and you have to learn more. You have to train more. You have to be united.
Yes. Yes. And I hope this message comes across to a lot of people. It's exciting at the same time, but it takes these kind of platforms for us to listen to each other, for us to welcome people like you, to talk to each other in English and then in Arabic and then in whatever it is, the means of sharing each other. Because now everybody, I'm sure, that just heard you that might have not heard you before, now they're like, man, Ammar went through similar things that I went through in my jiu-jitsu journey. Well, Ammar comes from this background that's similar to me. We said this in the beginning of the podcast. When you find somebody with similarities, that's when you connect. Now people can possibly find similarities with you and realize we're not that different, right? We have more in common than we have apart. Inshallah, man. I have faith. I have faith that we're heading in a beautiful direction. We got to go through some difficult times, some discussions that have to be done to progress. But man, the future in this whole scene with people like you as
Inshallah.
well.
Like you too, bro.
Habibi Tislam, thank you so much for your time, man. I hope all you guys enjoyed this podcast. It's been a blast talking to Ammar, and really, thank you for taking the time. I know 2 hours, man, felt like 5 minutes talking to you.
I appreciate it too, man. Me too. What you did is something good, and I hope that everyone gets lessons out of this. And
Yes,
it's an
will.
honor to be in your podcast. وأنا اللي اتشرفت, man.
Honor is mine, brother. Thank you so much. Everybody on YouTube hanging out with us, thank you for tuning in. Much love to you. I'll catch you guys on the next podcast tomorrow. Don't miss it.